This lesson is for a specific kind of student, the one who doesn't make noise, who arrives every morning carrying something heavy. These students can fall under the radar. This lesson is about how GROK cards can become a consistent, low-pressure touchpoint for these students, something that doesn't require them to explain themselves or trust you before they're ready. And importantly, it doesn't require counseling skills that are outside your scope. You likely have one or two of these students right now. They might look like the student who arrives already shut down and stays that way, the one who's back after a significant absence, but not really back, the student carrying visible stress or anxiety with no language for it, the student identified for Tier 2 support who seems unreachable in class. What these students share, they are not going to come to you, but they will respond if you approach in a certain way over time. Low pressure. No demand for explanation. No requirement to talk. Consistent. The same small gesture, offered regularly, signals safety over time. Trust isn't built in one conversation. It's built in the accumulation of small moments where nothing bad happened. Curious. Not clinical. You're not assessing them. You're just noticing them. There's a difference, and they can feel it. Again, pull out the cards and have students sort. Same move, very different context. For a withdrawn student, the cards remove the demand to generate language. A student who has no words for what they're carrying, or who doesn't yet trust you enough to share them, can still point to a card. And sometimes that's the first honest communication they've had all day. You just have to be present enough to receive it. Let me walk you through a scenario. I'm calling this student Marcus, but you probably already know exactly who he reminds you of. Marcus is in 5th grade, identified for Tier 2 support at the start of the year. Mild anxiety, avoidant behaviors, struggles with transitions. He has a weekly check-in with the school counselor, but in class, he's largely invisible, completes a fair amount of work, doesn't really cause problems. But he doesn't connect much with other kids either, and it's hard to know what to do from the front of the classroom. His teacher notices he arrives Monday mornings particularly shut down. She starts small. On Monday mornings, while students are settling in, she keeps a small stack of GROK feelings cards on the corner of Marcus's desk, same as she does for 2 or 3 other students who need a slower start. She doesn't require anything. She just says, "Good to see you, Marcus. No rush this morning." The first Monday, he ignores the cards. The second, he looks at them. The third Monday, he moves one to the center of his desk, tired, and leaves it there. She glances at it as she passes. Yeah, Mondays can be like that. She keeps walking. She doesn't make it a thing. The fourth Monday, there are 2 cards. She pauses and says quietly, "Tired and worried." That's a heavy way to start a week. She crouches and says, "You don't have to tell me anything. I just want you to know I see it." Marcus doesn't say anything back, but he doesn't look away. No dramatic breakthrough, no tearful conversation, just a consistent, low-pressure signal. I notice you. You don't have to perform okay for me. Over weeks, small shifts happen. A student who was invisible begins to feel seen. A student who said fine every day begins to occasionally say something authentic. That is the work with Tier 2 students, and that is a win. It's slow, it's quiet, and it matters enormously. 1. Leave 2 or 3 GROK cards on a withdrawn student's desk during a transition. Don't explain or require anything. 2. When you check in, try, "You don't have to tell me anything. I just wanted you to know I noticed you today." Then move on. Don't wait for a response. 3. If they do engage, if they point to a card or say something small, reflect it simply and don't push further. Frustrated. Yeah, that makes sense. Full stop. Let that be enough. Trust is built in these small moments, one at a time. If a student is already receiving Tier 2 support, the GROK card routine in your classroom complements that beautifully. Worth a quick conversation with your counselor. I've been using GROK cards as a low-key check-in with a couple of students. Can we coordinate so we're using the same language? Students who hear the same vocabulary across multiple settings internalize it faster.